So now I'd like to introduce our wonderful head of school, Meredy Benson. And I'd like to acknowledge her for being a head of school that both preschool and high school parents can all go to. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasper, and thank you, Matt. It's been amazing to have Matt come up and do this. I was actually Matt's English and Social Studies teacher in 9th grade, and I have some really funny stories that I can tell about in school. But I'm so grateful to hear about what you've done, Matt, because when you think about the quiet revolution, I mean, I feel that you have quietly, you and your company quietly revolutionized the gaming industry. And for most of us parents, we really welcome that revolution. I also want to take a moment, having been so moved and so touched by Clarissa's talk, to say that none of what we do here could be done without you parents. The school is wonderful, but it's a partnership. It's a homeschool partnership. And so I want to just acknowledge all the parents in this room and in the school, because without your working together with us, we couldn't do any of it. So thank you. So on a daily basis, I am very fortunate to be able to observe so many of those small moments at school that add up to this quiet revolution. And occasionally, though, I ask myself, do I inherently have a bias because I'm so in love with the school, so that I'm just sort of seeing it through this lens? And for that reason, it's really been a gift that we are required as a school to go through an accreditation process, an external check. And recently we went through this for our WASC CAIS accreditation. We had a team of 5 people came onto our campus for 4 days, and we were thinking, oh my gosh, are they ever going to be able to really absorb who we are as a school? And by the time they left and gave us their verbal report, we were so pleasantly surprised, because we received a verbal confirmation that the mission of the school was tangible and alive and real, and they had really got us in a way that we had thought would be unlikely. And they got us because they spent 4 days visiting classrooms, talking to teachers and staff and students and parents, and directly observing what they referred to as the relational investment of the community. And I was really intrigued by that term, relational investment. Krishnamurti felt, as most of you know, that the primary purpose of a school, although we were obviously needed to be academically excellent, the most important role of the school was to provide an oasis where students and teachers and parents could explore together this different way of living, and thereby potentially change the world. And after 35 years or so, I don't know if we have achieved the enormity of that mission, but I do know that we consistently raise up kids who turn out to be sensitive and caring, competent, responsible contributors to the world. Note Matt, note Jasper, note any of the students that you've met today. And how do we do it? Well, I think it has a lot to do with this notion, relational investment. Our students are in close relationship with multiple adults that care about them. In the classroom, there is an atmosphere of love and trust where teachers are facilitators and co-learners, and everyone is engaged in learning together. And it looks very different from what we're used to. I recently spent some time observing elementary kids doing a group project. It was messy and difficult and fraught with argument and negotiation and sometimes failure. It was a little like how Matt described his company. It would have been so much easier for the teacher to stand up in front of those kids and just feed them information. It would have been neat and tidy. Instead, the kids had to work in teams. They had to decide what was needed, how to divide up the tasks in a fair way, and how to help each other get the job done. I was amazed at the sophisticated social interactions required of these youngsters, and in awe that they were willing to struggle through the hurdles of working together collaboratively in a way that I've rarely seen adults do. But it's what our children will be expected to do in the working world of their future. And I'm sure, Matt, you'll agree that that's the name of the game these days: teamwork and collaboration. We help kids make a relational investment to themselves, too. Quiet time, silent time, time to turn their attention inward, to get to know themselves and consider their relationship to others. How are we getting along, communicating, problem solving, meeting understanding, and learning from conflict? Through this mirror of relationship, we learn about how the human mind works and how it distorts our perception of reality. And that might sound sophisticated, but all children can be encouraged to watch their thoughts and question whether those thoughts are true. The more we do this with kids, the more they cultivate empathy and understanding. This relational investment results in self-knowledge and a greater sense of belonging. To belong to everywhere, to belong to everyone, the quiet revolution. The subtle shift that might take place if more and more young people are sent out into the world with this level of sensitivity and self-awareness. That's why we're all here. So what does it take to make this happen? Well, first and foremost, we have to have a stellar faculty and staff who can afford to dedicate their lives to this important work, both personally and professionally. We have to have a beautiful campus and a place to run our programs that is what you see when you walk around here. We have to have a sense of stability and sustainability, a solid foundation from which to grow and meet the future. And that takes an investment of a different kind. And this is where your support comes in. Our first need is to reach our annual fundraising goal, a single amount projected into the budget each year that makes sure that we are balanced at the end of the year. And this year, our goal is $300,000. Over the last 5 years, our multi-year donor base, the Extraordinary Life Circle of Friends, has grown. We hope it will grow more today. Multi-year pledges allow us to meet critical needs because we depend on those funds year after year. Donor commitment of this size, this kind, has helped us, for example, to increase teacher salaries and this year. The accreditation team that visited this last month looked at every aspect of the school, not just the program, and were truly inspired by the fact that in each critical category, outreach, admissions, retention, and fund development, the trend has been upward for the last 5 years. The team specifically commended the incredible dedication and support of our donor base. That's all of you, for your commitment to sustaining this wonderful school. We have come so far in just 5 years, from a deficit position to one of strength and stability. Looking forward to the next 5 years, it's time to deepen and strengthen that foundation even further. It's time to build a 10% reserve fund, a standard practice in most independent schools. Reserve funds provide a safety net for the school should unexpected expenses arise. For example, in my first year, we needed to replace the pump house at our driveway entrance. Not a fun thing to spend money on, believe me. It had a price tag of $100,000, and it could not have been foreseen, and the impact on our budget was unexpected and devastating. So we need to build a reserve of $320,000. And fortunately, we have already raised $147,000 toward that goal. You can actually and it's time to build our endowment, an investment that provides a permanent source of income something that all successful independent schools rely on, and it's our turn next. Over the last 5 years, through careful management of funds, thank you, Vicki Breen, we have almost doubled our endowment to over $1 million. And now we need to grow it to 10 million. And we can do it. An endowment of this size would allow us to achieve complete sustainability, where our annual needs would be guaranteed in perpetuity. That dream is starting to look like a real possibility, and considering where we were 5 years ago, that seems absolutely incredible. But look at you. You are incredible. You have helped us to get where we are today, and I know you'll help us to get where we need to be tomorrow by making an investment in our future. I know you will give generously, continue giving generously, and give more generously if you can. And of course, look at our teachers and our staff. You're going to be hearing from one of them in a moment. They are also incredible. They have made that relational investment. They have made that relational investment so our students can experience a genuine community where a sense of belonging and connection can lead to responsible and ethical action in the world. This is the real work of our school and the intent Christian Meredy had for us, to cultivate caring, competent, compassionate human beings who belong to everywhere, who belong to everyone. The quiet revolution. What could be more important? What could be a better investment in our future? So I thank you for your support. We truly depend on you. Thank you.